Pantheon presents
25, look, PPL is here. My favorite time of year. Blood, sweat, and tears dripping all over the gear. Yeah, NFL is back, so is PPL. Let the game get started. Time to see who will prevail. Yeah, the wait is over. Yeah, it's time for fantasy. It's time to draft to build a team that's capable to win the ring. As the GAFF attack back to back and try to get him free. He's chilling on the throne where everybody wants to be. Yeah, we all want the money. Everybody pay the fee. For me, I'm trying to win it just to brag about my team. Everybody wants to read, but it ain't easy to achieve it. But believe it when I say it, feels so good when you receive it. Yeah, BBL is back, BBL, the league is whack. You can say I'm talking smack, now I'm only speaking facts. Every week we got the live show, each year we got a nice flow. The others they can see us like they're playing with their eyes closed. PPL we ride, PPL we live, PPL we high, we the best you can't deny. Welcome to the live show, life be like the sideshow. You know and I know that PPL's a war zone, 100-yard battlefield, helmets as a battle shield. PPL we're back for real, time to draft and make a deal. Alpha versus Omega, battle with the fantasy, a game of intelligence, sacrifice and strategy.
Final week of regular season play for conference play, PPL Live, week 13. We are here ready for the end, the climax of the regular season. Still a champion to be crowned in the Alpha Conference. But before we get to that, let's take a look at those week 12 scores. Starting with the Argonauts surviving a dud of a prestige matchup, 82-75. The GAFF get back on track with a leave, no doubt, effort. 159-117. Only for the boss. Keeps the Alpha Conference wide open with a big win. 138 to start in the estimated 119. Appease the gods. Defends the the Omega Conference Championship. Back-to-back Omega titles. 131 to the Twins 110. And the United play as the Destroyers. Play spoilers. The Skulls get it back the next week. 107-106. Man, another tight week in the PPL. Still so much to be decided, man. It's never over, man. What do you think?
I mean, it was full of excitement. And I mean, again, lots to be decided. But, hey, some things, we know what's going to happen in Omega.
Right.
So.
Yeah, some things have stayed the same, man. And let's get into it, man. Let's get into it with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Good, bad, and ugly for our week 12. Before we get into our turkey tussles, man, let's hear your good, bad, and ugly for week 12.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to start with the Omega Conference champs. Peace the gods again, 2 in a row now.
Definitely.
7-1 conference record, and again doing it against the Twins, who again are one of the more storied franchise within the Omega. Guys just played well, and again, Emmanuel Wilson, the waiver wire pickup. I mean, again, a lot of teams could have used that 26.5. ATG was able to get it, and again, hey, really don't have anything to play for until Final Four, so they're in a great position.
Right, ATG could lose out until the Final Four weekend. It doesn't really matter. They are one win from going to the Pantheon Cup. So hats off to ATG. Can't get a better week than that, man. Let's hear your bad.
Bad, man. Skulls. Hey, after you got that 2.12 from Josh Allen on Thursday night, you had to be feeling pretty glum about this matchup, and they were absolutely in it till the final game.
Right.
Just couldn't get it done, and I think he's going to be looking at his bench and just thinking there could have been other moves. I mean, looking at that 18 by Kareem Hunt,
right.
And again, especially in a week when the UP did not set their best lineup and Pickens and Genty weren't in. Bills lost. I mean, everything that could have happened to make this close. And the Skulls, I don't know. This to me just has the smell of a playoff killer right here. So it was a bad week for the Skulls.
Yeah, man, that Jamar Chase suspension really came back to bite the Skulls in the most crucial of matchups, man. A week where you only get 2 points from Josh Allen, you lose by 1 point. It seemed like the football gods are messing with the Skulls, or maybe the football devils. But I feel like lineup decisions is going to be a theme for you, Ulysses. Let's hear your ugly.
Yeah, ugly's pretty apparent. I mean,
yeah.
we hyped up the prestige matchup. Killer Kev, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, he went out there and even picked a losing coach. I mean, and still damn near won it. But again, it's just you know, Ulysses or Gino, we were talking about prestige matchups, and again, hey, you were making the argument that Killer Kev wasn't ready for the moment.
Right.
I advocated for the young man. Learned my lesson there. Ugly loss, and again, indefensible to not set your lineup. I don't care who you think on the bench is worth keeping at this point. You could have dropped C.J. Stroud and ain't nobody going for him. You'd have been just fine. So just poor decision making, and now they're fighting for their playoff lives.
Oh, definitely, man. It's extremely ugly because this was a matchup we both picked the Argonauts in. They didn't show up, and I mean, I'll get more into that, but let's move on. My good is actually gonna be trading places and trading into first place. That's going to include Appease the Gods, who clinched their second Omega Conference title in as many years, and the Argonauts, who obviously did clinch a playoff spot despite, you know, the ugliness of that matchup. These two teams engaged in a trade 4 weeks ago, and since then, both teams have won 4 straight matchups, and it has led them both to securing playoff spots. So that's my good. You can't get any better than getting into the playoffs. I mean, and for ATG, even better. I mean, I think they even won the trade when you look back at how many scoring revenues they got and how much it's impacted their run to the Omega Conference title down the stretch. So that's my good. My bad, man, is got to be stuck in the mud. I mean, I'm looking at the Twins. I'm looking at squad underestimated. 2 teams that I thought, and the Skulls, 3 teams that I thought had opportunities to really stake a claim in the playoff situation. I thought squad underestimated really missed a chance to kind of clinch the Alpha Conference in the same way that ATG was able to do it in Omega. And the Twins themselves, they're now fighting for a wild card spot in a situation where they could have really blew open Omega in the way only for the Boss did. And then when you obviously look at the Skulls, you know, they got the reprieve skipping by the GAFF, but then they give it right back the next week. So those 3 teams are stuck in the mud right now. It's going to be interesting to see how those things carry out now. It's only bad because I believe that obviously squad's in the playoffs, and I believe the Twins are probably still going to make it, but the Skulls, it could be getting late early. And my ugly, man, is going to be the prestige matchup of the week. You touched on one half of it, but I'm going to tell you why it's an issue. It's because the Argonauts made it an issue. This was a matchup that we had them running away with. They exposed themselves and Killer Kev as not looking ready for the moment. Just was not impressed with this matchup at all. Even with Killer Kev not setting his lineup, the Argonauts still were only able to get by 7. So they don't deserve any reprieve from how ugly this matchup got. Obviously, Killer Kev, despite the lack of effort or the lack of attention to detail, whatever you want to call it, they still were even in the matchup. So that's just ugly all around. But as I always say, what's past is prologue. It's time to get into the Turkey Tussles. It's time to get into Thanksgiving weekend. And we start with our big interconference matchup of the week. 2 teams that are looking at the playoffs in the front view mirror, the road to the Pantheon Cup. We got Appease the Gods taking on Only for the Boss. All right, man, big one here. Appease the Gods and Only for the Boss. Both getting it on in this matchup. ATG coming off of, on a 4-game winning streak, coming off of clinching the Omega Conference title, and Only for the Boss doing their best to try to continue to set their claim to Alpha Conference championship. Any chances of Alpha Conference title lies here for the Boss. They need a win. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think if Appease the Gods was in a different position, this would be a much more interesting matchup. But I mean, again, I think that they can take their foot off the gas. They really don't have a ton to play for here.
Right.
Only for Boss playing for everything. And I think, again, damn near be a playoff lock if they win this. I mean, it would surprise me
they're
if
they
win
win.
this.
They're in.
Right. So I think that Patrick Mahomes has a matchup against Dallas where they're probably feeling themselves, and I think they should get right in that matchup. I like Only for the Boss up and down on this. They're projected decently ahead of Appease the Gods. Appease the Gods, again, I don't think they're going to be putting a ton of effort into this week, and I think Only for the Boss makes it interesting and ends the win streak. I think that they go 118 to Appease the Gods 111.
All right, man. I'm leaning with you, but I think that Kansas City Dallas matchup could be dangerous for the Chiefs, man. I'm saying it right now. Now, could Kansas City possibly do what they're supposed to do? Yeah, but I could see Dallas making it very difficult for them. Love that Browns defense against San Francisco. Niners quarterback Brock Purdy did not look ready to play, and going on the road against that pass rush is only going to make things harder for him. So I really like that play there. But when I look at Appease the Gods, the matchups are bad. Caleb's got Philly. Dowdle and the Ted Offensive got to go up against the Rams. Nico Collins is in Indy. It just does not bode well for them. And I think only for the Boss will find a way to get by, whether the Chiefs win or lose. I got only for the Boss getting this one, 117 to Appease the Gods, 110. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into the Alpha Conference for a big game for Killer Kev. Will they rebound and wake up? Or are they set in their ways? We got a big one here. We got Killer Kev taking on I Need About Trey Fitty. All right, man, we got Trey Fitty in this matchup. Looked like they could give the Gaff a little bit of a run for a little while, but then Jameer Gibbs just ran away with that matchup. On Killer Kev's side, obviously, we talked about his struggles ad nauseum. They need this win here. They look like they're in position to get it, man. What do you think of this one?
You actually have Killer Kev. I mean, this matchup looks close already when you dive into it.
Yeah.
You realize that Achane's not even in the matchup yet. So once that happens,
yeah.
I think that he's going to run wild against New Orleans. And I think that this Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs is healthy this week. He's back in the mix. I think everything is moving in Killer Kev's direction.
Okay.
And again, Trey Fitty is flash in a pan. I mean, he's rolling with Bryce Young. Had a good week a few weeks ago. I wouldn't be touching anything with the Jets. One of his better plays here is going to be Judkins.
Right.
Adunze is good. This, like you've said it, Gino. This Ravens D, kicker, and coach have all been hitting at a decent clip.
Great foundation.
I think that this is a week where it's a little shakier. It's a divisional matchup. The Ravens have been, again, winning, but not really in a flashy way.
Yeah.
I think that could be a little tricky. And again, I just got Killer Kev in a lock of the week performance. I think that he wins this one solidly.
Okay.
I think he gets this one 129 to I Need About Trey Fitty's 108.
Okay, man. I'm tempted to kind of go the other way, even though I almost feel like Trey Fitty at this point is probably in tank mode. You know them. They're probably looking into next year already. Trey Fitty's got a forever eye to the future. With Killer Kev, I mean, I think that they needed to realize that their time was now. They set their lineup last week, and they're in a potential situation where they could have won the Alpha Conference. Now they're going to have to pull up the rear in the wild card round. But I'm with you, man. I think that they got too much. I mean, they damn near beat the Argonauts without a lineup set. I think that with Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think Jameson Williams, they're going to make an effort to get Jameson Williams the ball tomorrow. And we know that Travis Etienne has a great matchup against Tennessee. Etienne getting back in, and even if I would say that Eagles coach is a little more risky, they could probably go somewhere else. That was the one thing they did do last week. I got Killer Kev getting this one, man. 122 to Trey Fitty's 107. And moving on to our next matchup, we go into a game of elimination in the Omega Conference. A huge game for both of these teams. The GAFF is the team that won't die. Can they stay alive for one more week? They got a big one against the United Players, the Destroyers. All right, man, big one here. The United Players, the Destroyers, kept themselves and the GAFF attack, I feel like, alive with that win against the Skulls last week. Now it's kind of moved to a situation where one of these two teams has a real shot at making the playoffs. Man, what do you think it is when United plays the GAFF?
Yeah, this one I've wrestled with, going back and forth. I mean, I really could see this matchup going either way. One of the kind of X factors for me is Daniel Jones and what's going to happen with these Houston Texans.
Okay.
These guys absolutely ravaged Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills last week.
Right.
Daniel Jones and company got humbled by Kansas City. Is
right.
there going to be a lingering effect? The UP also has Genty, Pickens, and Rice. They finally get their best lineup, I think, in place early.
Right.
So I think that they've got a formidable go. other side, Jalen Hurts and company against Chicago should be a highly entertaining game.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a must start. The question marks for me, and this is what's surprising with the GAFF, it's with A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
These guys A.J. has been vocal about he's unhappy with his role on the squad.
Right.
CeeDee's dropping the ball. I mean, Broncos at Washington should be a cakewalk, but this Broncos team hasn't been looking too flashy, and so that might be a trap game.
Okay.
Patriots should absolutely dominate
the Giants.
Other side, Bills at Pitt. I'm not feeling that either. So I think that the GAFF actually wins this one in a squeaker. I think this is one of the more entertaining matchups of the week.
Okay.
I think that the GAFF goes 126 to the UP's 123.
All right, man. This one's good, and you know what? Just for entertainment's sake, and because this matchup is such a toss-up, I think I'm gonna go the other way because I think there's an argument to be made. I'm looking at George Pickens and Rashee Rice. Neither of those guys are complaining for the ball. Neither of those guys are dropping the ball, and they're in sync with their quarterback. So I like the receiver battle on the United Players side, and that's something to be said against the GAFF, who obviously has CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown, two of the premier receivers over the last couple of years. Tight end is where I think the GAFF has a really good edge, though, with Tyler Warren. The flex is going to be interesting. Chris Olave, quiet as kept, is top 12 in the PPL. He's 11th in the PPL at the position. He has a good matchup against Miami, and the young quarterback's going to force him the ball. Love Rams D as the matchup. I don't think that there's any fall off there, and I think the Bills have a get-right game against the Steelers. I got the United Players finding a way. I think that Jalen Hurts might struggle a little bit against Chicago. I think that what we saw in the second half is more of what they have been throughout the season than what we saw in the first half. That's why the GAFF has been up and down with Jalen. I'm surprised he's not going Drake May. It's going to be interesting to see how he ends up making this decision. But I think the United Players do have enough to get this one and keep their playoffs hopes alive. I got the United Players getting this one 130 to the GAFF's 127. And moving on to our next matchup, we stay in Omega for a big one here. Both of these teams need this matchup. What's going to happen? Patty's Twins still in firm control of their own destiny, take on the Skulls, who are going to need some help. All right, man, the Skulls last week looked like they were in position to control their own destiny. If they win that matchup, this is a potential prestige matchup of the week. Now the Skulls are needing some help on top of getting this victory for the Twins. Basically, they're winning, they're in, man. What do you think of this matchup?
Again, just like the last matchup, I mean, the Omega Conference games are really interesting down the stretch. I like Patty's Twins lineup. I mean, the one thing that I think is glaring on this team is that wide receiver 2 position.
Right.
You just really see the glaring hole that Malik Neighbors' absence has on this team. I mean, fundamentally, with whoever she goes with here, she's throwing a dart at the board, man. There's no confidence there. Otherwise, I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Javonte Williams, they should have good games, I think, against those units. I think that if the Colts are to beat Houston, that they're going to have a mixed attack, and they're going to have to respect Daniel Jones, and that's going to have to be predicated on Jonathan Taylor ripping off something. I really like the defense. The Chargers against Las Vegas should be dominant. I also like the Rams on the road against Carolina. When I look at the Skulls, I don't trust Josh Allen at all. Even with his number 1 points ranking, he came back to earth for me last week a bit. Pittsburgh has the type of defense that can get at you. Right. And I think that might play a factor. Minnesota, I don't want to play any of the running backs because they're going to be playing from behind. Right. Cincinnati, this is a game where if the Skulls win, it's going to be because Chase Brown and Jamar Chase, have an impact. But looking down, again, I love the Chargers coach against Las Vegas. I'm not so high on the Packers D at Detroit. We saw last week, I mean, they can turn it on and win a high-scoring matchup, and I think the Packers might struggle pacing them right now. I think that Patty's Twins eventually get their lineup set, and I think that they avenge the Week 4 matchup that they lost to the Skulls, clinch a playoff spot. I've got them going 132 to the Skulls, 123.
All right, man, I'm going the other way. I think the Skulls are supposed to just blow this whole thing into chaos with this win. I'm looking at Zay Flowers, man. I think that matchup tomorrow is going to basically be the tail of the tape for the Skulls. They can really jump out to a nice lead early. Well, not that necessarily, I guess, because the Twins have some Cowboys and Lions early on. But I think that those three guys can go nuclear Thursday night with Chase Brown, Zay Flowers, and Jamar. I like the Hunter Henry play. He had a really good game, and he's a guy that Drake may trust, especially in the red zone. Harvey should be able to get done. I think that he's going to be one of the more steady guys down the stretch if the Skulls are able to do some damage. And then he's still got the comfort of Josh Allen. Now while I'm worried about the Twins a little bit, is Jonathan Taylor's got the Houston Texans on the docket. And Javonte Williams has the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are two of the better run defenses in pro football. Amon-Ra St. Brown has that Packers defense that he's going to have to deal with. This is not a cakewalk. And George Kittle's got a quarterback that's out there not seeing the field very well. I think that the Skulls find a way to get this, blow the wild card into chaos, and we don't know what's going to happen. I got the Skulls getting this one 125 to Patty's Twins 119. And moving on to our prestige matchup of the week. It gets no bigger than this, a potential Alpha Conference Championship game. We have the Argonauts taking on Squad Underestimated. All right, man, we got a big one here. The Argonauts find themselves on their way to another, 12th, 13th Alpha Conference title. They've won so many times. Squad Underestimated, despite them being an original 5 team, has not won any Alpha Conference titles, so this is going to be a big one for them when we think of this matchup.
Yeah, what we saw before is that it's going to be a pretty close matchup. But things have changed for me as far as what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley, man, this guy's just not been where we expected him.
Yeah.
The team chemistry's off. He's certainly getting it from Christian McCaffrey and Puka, and I'll even say Troy Franklin. That stack with Bonix is all right, but even that hasn't been as productive as he had certainly hoped.
Right.
Again, when I look at his defense and coach, I'm not as confident.
Okay.
Jags at Tennessee, we were talking, Gino, that the Cam Ward is looking like he's coming on a little bit.
Right.
Jags have shown that they can be sporadic, and so they might mess around and lose. This is a divisional game.
Yeah.
Broncos, I mentioned earlier too. I could see this being a trap game. They should dominate, but again, on the road, West Coast, we'll see what happens. Argonauts, Lamar Jackson has been so since the trade, but it really hasn't mattered. He's been blowing teams out. We'll consider last week to be an anomaly.
Right.
The Argos just don't do that very often. But again, Bijan Robinson should have a big game against the Jets. Kyron Williams in Carolina. Egbuka, Arizona, Ladd McConkey, Las Vegas, Trey McBride against reeling Tampa Bay Bucks, the Giants, Cleveland. Seahawks against Minnesota. This matchup has bounce back written all over it. I've got the Argos in a leave no doubt vintage performance.
Okay.
Going 151
to
Squad's 137.
Wow, 151 to 137. Man, that's a hell of a projection, man. But I'm tempted to go the other way just based on the recent scoring trend. You had brought this up last week, Ulysses. The Argonauts, despite the big names, there's reasons to doubt a lot of what they have going on. Lamar Jackson has not looked like himself since the injury, just other than that 4-touchdown game. Bijan and Kyron, the ball goes all over the place in those offenses, particularly the Rams offense. And Bijan, he's got another guy in his backfield that he has to worry about vulturing him for touches. Egbuka is got an injured quarterback, and then we got to see Ladd McConkey's only in because of Justin Jefferson's struggle. So the Argonauts do not feel so confident in their lineup. Now on Squad side, yeah, things have been up and down, but we know McCaffrey's going to get the ball. We know Barkley's going to get the ball. We know Puka's going to get targeted, and we know Bo Nix is going to look for Franklin. I think Squad finds a way to get this matchup. In our traditional turkey tussle, Squad Underestimated finds a way to get this matchup very, very close. I'm with you. 134 to the Argonauts, 131. Alrighty, PPLers, thanks for another great PPL Live. The turkey tussles are in full effect. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving weekend. Eat well, have a good weekend, stay blessed, and may the gods and the odds be ever in your favor.